Hello guys, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can create this AAA asset for your game using AI. So go to Meshi AI, I'll leave the link in the description, and choose text to 3D. Then you need to insert here the prompt about the prop you want to create. So for me, I will do some stone cliff and I'll make this a realistic prop so it comes out the best realistic way possible. It generates and it will start creating your base mesh that we will use. And since this is too fast but not that fast, you can go to my channel and hit subscribe and turn on the notifications so I can help you with the new videos when they come out. Now with this base model we have here, we can check, and it's quite nice. It's a low resolution version. You can refine it and it will give you some better quality, but as you can see sometimes it doesn't work really well, so I'll stick with the low resolution version and this seems okay. So I'll download it right here and choose Blend because I'm using Blender and just download it. Jump to Blender. Now I'm going to sculpting. So we can improve this, I'll go to tool, and then if you don't have any brushes here, we can append some from other files. I'll leave the link on the description from these rock brushes that I got. And you can just append them and drag them to the project and they will appear here. So as you can see. Now back to the layout, I'll delete everything and just append my rock base mesh. So I'll select object and select my mesh and append. As you can see, it's right here and it is very small, so I'll just scale it up so it looks like a cliff, something like this, and move it up. Right now, one important thing is you need to merge your vertex that are in the same position. So press M and select merge by distance. This will remove extra vertices that are not being used, and you can increase or decrease this merge distance, but it's fine like this. Add a multi-resolution modifier and subdivide it a couple times until you get some smooth result. Now select one of the brushes we imported. I'll go with this, and if we start painting it will look like this and it will not work the way we wanted. So you need to go to the stroke panel and change from space to anchored. And now if we click and drag, and it will look like this. And it's a too strong effect, so let's reduce the strength a bit like this, and we now can start dragging our brush and painting these details all around our model. Let me redo this. I don't like. Yeah, this is now a quick way to sculpt some extra details over our base mesh that we imported using AI. So I'll speed this a bit so you can see how I proceeded with the generation of these strokes, and it's quite nice. Let me change now to another brush and I'll choose this. You have to do the same process, change from space to anchored in stroke panel and reduce the strength a bit. I'll also divide it a couple more times because the resolution is not enough. And now if we drag, it will have a lot more detail because we have subdivided a couple extra times more. So as you can see, the detail is great. It looks like some cliff that is not textured at the moment, but we'll get there. And you just click and drag around with these brushes and you will have a cool rock in a couple minutes. It's really cool. Just add them where they seems to be. Let's change to another brush for the top. Same thing, change to anchored and reduce the strength a bit, and we can add some extra details on top that are not that deeply carved into the stone like the ones on the middle. and just keep adding, click and drag until you like it. Let's change again for another brush for the bottom part. Same thing, change to anchored and reduce the strength, and we can add some extra details on the bottom so it doesn't look the same on all parts, because rocks are formations that are always different and there is not really patterns that repeat. And I'm here adding some extra on top so it breaks the repetition. Okay, now go back to layout. We have our rock here. It's not level of viewport subdivisions is only 2. Let's change that to 3. Yeah, this is fine. Let's apply this, and now we need to rename this rock. This will be our iPoly mesh that we made, and I'll duplicate this, right click and duplicate object, right click again to let it on the same place. Let's change the name to low poly rock, and you need to hide the high poly for now and just work on the low poly. Now on this model I'll apply the decimate modifier so we can reduce the mesh, and I'll set it to 0.1. And let's turn on the wireframe here so we can see the density. This is still too much for a game prop, so let's reduce it a bit more, like 0.05, and apply this. And add a new modifier, decimate, and this way we can reduce it and see manually how it looks. And around 7k triangles is fine. This is fine. Let's deactivate the wireframe mode. And now we need to add some UVs to our low poly mesh. So I'm here selecting vertex, holding Control and click. This will create this shorter line. This will take like a path, and let's mark this as a seam. It's a faster way to mark seams around your model, and since this is like an organic shape, we don't need to be precise with this. It's fine like this, like a shape box. Press U and unwrap it. Let's open here a new tab, go to UV editor. Let's close this image. And now we can adjust the UV islands around our space manually. I don't do this manually. I have a plugin that I use that's called UV Pack Master, and this is great for this, packing automatically the best space. So this is fine. Let's export our model. First select your low poly and change the name to rock low poly, and export only selected objects. And now let's hide this one and change to the high poly and export the high poly version. Again, change the name to high poly so they be different. Now jump to Substance Painter, and now here we select our low poly mesh. Open. Change your document resolution to 4K or the resolution you need. Press OK, and now we have here our low poly version, but we need to bake our high poly mesh to our low poly, so click bake, change the bake resolution from the high poly version to 4K, and now we need to add our high poly mesh in this section here. Hit this button and select our high poly mesh that we exported. We need to also change a few things here, anti-aliasing to 16 times, and we can add extra maps here. The cage can't have these red polygons. These are errors, so let's increase this a bit. This seems okay. When you are done, hit bake, and we'll start baking your high details from your high poly mesh to your low poly one. This can take a bit of time if you have a low-end PC and you will choose 4K. Okay, now it's finished, it returned, and now we have our mesh baked. This is our low poly mesh with the details from our high mesh. In the Substance, I'll use these Substance Smart Materials. I'll leave the link in the description. They are really cheap and they look great on our rocks. These are really good starting points for your meshes. If you have a good sculpt, you just need to drop them and you have a great looking rock. As you can see, we have a few of them and they all look great. So it's difficult for me to choose, but I'll go with the last one. Yeah. Now I noticed some seams, so we'll fix this by adding a new layer and changing all of these channels to pass through. And after doing this, we go to base color again and hit the clone stamp. Now we press V wherever we want to copy and just paint over the seam so it doesn't show on our mesh, like so. And this will improve really drastically our rock look, because we don't see those ugly seams. Now I like to add this sharpen filter. It adds some extra sharpness to my material, but let's reduce it and just add it a bit so it doesn't look too much blurry. And now export textures, choose where you want to save it and the format you want. For me it's Blender, and I'll choose up to 8K, and the padding is fine, like so. So it exports, it will start exporting. Now on Blender we change this tab to shader and delete these textures that are applied to our model. We don't want these anymore. And if we have the Node Wrangler add-on, we can just select this principle and select all our textures, and it will set up every channel automatically. Now we change our view to material and it looks like this, the same way it's in Substance Painter, and it looks really good, really great. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. See you in the next one.